Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Welcome to our daily dose of Success God's Way. This is Erin Harrigan, your Hustle with Heart and Health coach, helping entrepreneurs align results to God's truth and helping everyone attain total results for total health with Arbonne. I am sitting out on my deck. It is a beautiful morning. I know that it's going to get hot later, so this morning breeze feels good. Shout out to my friend Grace, who joined me on our morning Wednesday walk. This morning I am coming to you with eyes wide open. So I'm in this awesome Bible study, Gideon, by one of my favorite authors, Priscilla Schreier. And she's talking about when the angel of the Lord appeared to Gideon. And this is in Judges 6, 11, and 12. And the point that she's making here is so beautiful because she talks about that first the angel appeared and then Gideon discovered his calling. And sometimes we overlook God in the small things because we think, well, he's only going to show up in the big things. And why does he care about our business? But you guys, as God-centered entrepreneurs, we have a very specific purpose with our business, which is to reflect God's light, reflect Jesus's love to the people around us that we're serving through our business, and then through that, help them understand and get to know Christ. Ultimately, that's what we're to do as God-centered entrepreneurs. But this is what Priscilla says about keeping our eyes wide open to see him first, hear him, and get to know his character, and then discern our calling. So she says, God often comes to us in our boring days, veiled in the most ordinary of circumstances. In fact, ordinary is often the disguise of the divine. Having your spiritual radar up in constant anticipation of his presence is paramount to hearing God, because sometimes the place and manner you find him is the least spectacular you would expect. Being mindful of this and recognizing him even when his glory is shrouded in normalcy is a prerequisite for gaining clarity in your calling. To be aware of God's purpose, you must first be aware of his presence. So being in his presence and being aware that he's always there, and being consistent in your walk with the Lord. So being in the Word every day, being in your prayer journal every day, so that you don't miss the little ways that he shows up. Because very often he is not all pomp and circumstance. He is that still small voice. So reference verses I'd love for you to dig into around this are 1 Samuel 3, 4 through 11. And if you don't know the story, this is the story of Samuel as a young boy who is kind of apprenticing, if you will. And in his apprenticeship, he hears a voice call to him, and he thinks that, let me go find this for you. He thinks that it is Eli who's calling him, but it actually is God calling him. But the point is this, Samuel doesn't get his great commission of what his calling is going to be until he hears and listens to the Lord. So we have to be on the lookout. We have to have our eyes wide open to see the Lord moving in our life. Those connections that are made, those chance encounters, are no coincidence. He connects those paths for us when we are abiding in him, when we are connected to him, and when we are surrendering and allowing his work in our businesses. He will make the connections that need to be made. And I think it starts 100% with us realizing that he's there and us keeping our eyes wide open to see him in even the small things. So I'd love to hear how this resonates with you. Get down below, comment on that. Get on over to Success God's Way and tell us how we can pray over you on this exact topic, how we can pray over God keeping your eyes open. She says at the end of this of this installment, ask the Lord to make himself visible to you, just as he did to Gideon. Pray that he will open your spiritual eyes over the next 24 hours so you can see him more clearly than ever before. So I'll pray that over you. But get on over to Success God's Way. And today, the new blog post drops. So if you're not already subscribing to the podcast and the blog, you can do that at erinharrigan.com, or Hustle with Heart podcast and blog. Or you can subscribe to the podcast on any of your favorite podcast channels. And with that, I wish you guys a fantastic Wednesday, and I'll see you tomorrow. See ya.